Okay, so I'm super excited to be here. Thanks for meeting with me today. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you, Madeline?
I'm doing pretty great. I'm like super excited to like finally hop on and to kind of get to know, face to face, like what how we can be helpful for the company.
Okay.
Um, So yeah, I'd like to just introduce myself a little bit more. I know we've been kind of going back and forth a little bit on what I do and whatnot, but to kind of just more so put a name to the face and a little bit more um, uh, behind the scenes or a little bit more of like about myself and um, what brought me here is so I have been a certified personal trainer with NASM for about 2 years now. But I have certainly been into fitness and nutrition probably since I was about the age of around 10. Um, And so I've always been interested and have always done different things from sports in high school to the last 4 or so years in bodybuilding. And so I've taken my own journey from the basics up to kind of, extreme elitism and have wanted to now turn around the experiences that I have had and the people who have helped so far and um, continue to help more people. So yeah, it's a little bit more about me. I've been in the Bay Area for about 16 or so years now. I was originally from Huntington Beach down in SoCal. Um, and but I kind of feel like I'm here to stay here in the Bay Area. It's like kind of once you get here, it's hard to leave. And so I'm sure you kind of
Yeah.
resonate.
Yeah. Yeah. You're hooked.
Yeah.
You've been hooked.
Yeah, and I just see that there are so many big and small, companies and corporations and whatnot that are in great need of accountability in what I provide. So it's super exciting to meet different people and to kind of just get to know one-on-one how I can be of service to everybody. Um, so to kind of go into some discovery questions to kind of get to know more about you guys is I'd like to know a little bit more of like what have you guys tried so far with providing wellness and health for your employees?
Oh, yeah. Well, we have definitely tried several programs. We've done fitness classes. So we've had on-site fitness classes for our employees, like Zumba. We've done yoga, some meditation classes. We've also done HIIT classes. So we have a little conference room that we convert into a workout space. And then we've also done lunch and learn. So we'll bring in they're mostly nutrition and stress management focused. So we'll bring in some nutrition specialists or nutritionists and some stress management specialists in regards to, different topics related to those. The goal is really to give our employees strategies to eat better and do better and feel better. We've offered, well, we have an EAP program, so that's typically like an HR thing. So, that through our EAP program, they get um, access to counseling and therapy and, money management, things like that. We definitely try to do health screenings, seasonal health screenings. So especially around the winter time, flu, so they can get their flu shots, they can get some biometric screenings. So we try to do those once or twice a year, just depends on that. And then, trying to just boost morale, we'll do some team events. So community runs, or we'll, get a group of employees together who might be training for a marathon, so that they have that kind of community where they help each other um, do things like that.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, those are really great things to kind of change up the pace of things at times, and to continue to build the culture. And do you feel like those things have helped, especially with like the classes, the stress management and nutrition classes? Do you feel like that's kind of made a big difference, or has it just kind of like, piqued some interest, but then eventually would fade, and pique some interest and then kind of fade?
I mean, it definitely gives like initially there's like cohesion. We see like, specific groups that tend to be attractive to, different things that we offer and that will stay engaged, but it's not enough to keep it going half the time, because we had to stop the fitness classes because it's costly, so we want to make sure that it's an investment, so and we want to make sure it's a program that's going to be utilized. um
For
the same with the lunch and learns. I mean, it's great information, and we'll always continue to try to bring people in, but then again, it's hard to get people to um take their
sure.
lunchtime and get and come, or they might not be here. It just depends on the scheduling, and we really don't have enough in-house support to focus on marketing and getting the word out like we'd like to. um and
Gotcha.
then also, I think some of the challenges, it's just not, that's just a small group of employees. So it's hard to find a program that really fits the needs of everybody.
Gotcha.
So we're always, looking for something that's really going to be
More inclusive.
impactful for a greater, yeah, for more folks than not.
Gotcha. Well, cool. Thanks for sharing all that with me. I kind of would like to know now a little bit of, um, I guess, kind of a moment of visualization. So to kind of understand like where you guys are at in terms of the follow through with the programs, and yeah, like where is your ideal place that you'd like to be, 6 months down the road, a year from now? Like, how do you want, how healthy do you want your employees to be so that they, are functioning better and they are working really well as a team and building even more culture?
Yeah, I mean, our vision is really to try to have a program that's going to improve our employees' health first and foremost, because we do care about our employees. Um, and then we also know it's, their health impacts their productivity and their focus. And then impacts absenteeism, so I think it's important to have something that's going to hold them more accountable, and help them on their daily practices and activities. I mean, because I mean, we're kind of in a rural area, so we have we have a cafeteria here, so we see what people eat or bring, and so and we want our folks to be healthy, but I mean we definitely have seen an increase in obesity or overweight tendencies, and that leads to certain issues such as diabetes, chronic heart issues, and that impacts our insurance rates as well. So we're really looking overall just for the health of our employees, and also to increase, maintain increased productivity, but also decrease our absenteeism.
Right.
But also community. I mean, we definitely like it. We don't like competition feel. We like community feel, and our employees have definitely expressed, you know, wanting to have more of that. So
Gotcha.
that's what we really envision.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that totally makes sense that that's, what you would want more of. It seems like, you've taken bits and pieces of a holistic approach of like, having their, seasonal flu shots and, fitness classes here and there. Um, but it is kind of, 6 months apart, or it's, maybe once a week or something. And so
Yeah.
it's just enough to kind of get you, you know, like, oh, let's go to that class, or like, oh, let's go get
Yeah,
a, it's
exactly.
right.
Yeah. But a lot of them don't attend the classes because they're too busy or they need to get home. I know that we've heard that. And then the lunch and learns, they are just too busy. They have to get work done or they'd rather get off site and, do something. So,
Yeah. So
yeah.
it's like other priorities kind of
Yeah.
get in the
Hmm.
way of it. And so how bridging the gap between like, oh, it's not that much of a priority. It's not that important to like, no, my health is at stake here.
Exactly.
You know, how do I show up for that? So,
Hmm.
yeah. So, with just that, I mean, that's all really great information that you shared with me in terms of what, you are looking for and how we can bridge that gap to where you'd like to be. And so, Um, let's see if I will share my screen and I can show you a little bit of what I've got um, for a presentation. And there we go. We're able to see that right.
Yes, it says Better You Employee Wellness Challenges.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
So I kind of lost my train of thought.
Yeah, okay.
Um, uh, okay, cool. So I'm really glad you brought that all up. Thanks for sharing all of that. It gives me a clear idea and also kind of just reaffirms that um, it's not really just enough to have the different bits and pieces and, different events here and there to really, stick with the current things that we have going on. Just from our research that we've done, from what you can see here, over 70% of employees struggle with the work-life balance. They're just working one-on-one with a couple with my clients, um, making them aware that, just getting in 3 sessions a week of, a 30-minute workout is kind of just enough to reset them and to fill up their cup and make sure that they are able to show up for the rest of their life and that it doesn't really actually take that much away um, from what they're already doing. But to kind of reiterate, having that work-life balance um, with how much they are spending there at work and being able to have, the amenities there and to, but then to still have that life outside of work as well. It is definitely hard for them to kind of just process making time and being able to commit to still investing into themselves. So it makes it uh, a big deal for, you as their um, CEO, the founder, whatnot, to be able to say, this is pretty important. I see that this is impacting them. And, if I want this to be a place that these people want to work, then it makes sense to really give them something that's going to be truly engaging and helpful for them. So, um, and, probably just from what you've seen from your employees is that a lot of them are getting, into the sneaky layers of being pre-diabetic. I know like pre-diabetic, I from personal experience kind of almost hit that level, hit that point for myself. And, just looking at me, it's like, what? Like, how would
Mhm.
something like that, be the case? Like I'm in pretty good shape, but it's just one of those things that really sneaks up on you and you have to make those lifestyle changes. And so if for them they're getting, these screenings every 6 months or so, but they're far enough apart to where you can make, a lot of changes in that time. You could either go, uh, down or up, right, in terms of your health. And so if they don't have these, health practices already in their daily routine, just going into a workplace where it is kind of on the sedentary side, and it is so much easier to just go down to the cafeteria and grab something there rather than having a pre-portioned meal that maybe you prepped yourself or whatever the case is, just having a healthier option that's more tailored to what their needs are on a daily basis, is what they don't really realize on their own. Or maybe some of them do, but I'm sure that, quite a few of them are just mostly focused on their work and being able to show up and do their best for you, but, their own health kind of goes out the window. And so, um, yeah, to kind of bring it into like a full circle experience, it's like you're seeing them, they see you as, someone that they follow and that they want to do really well for. And so it kind of feels like you're pouring back into them by saying, I'm grateful for you guys for wanting to work so hard for this vision that I have. Now I want to pour back into you guys a little bit by, having this more of a daily accountability thing rather than a, 6 month, weekly, bi-weekly sort of event. And so yeah, let's see. So yes, as you can see here, I going into um, corporate wellness, I wanted to pair with, you can see right down here, um, with a really great program that has helped me, uh, taken my own experience from level 0 to, 10. I feel like I've really escalated my ability to be approachable and to be able to work with corporations with the knowledge and the help of the Nuvita Wellness Program. And so you can tell that just from their own experience and what they have brought to hundreds of other companies in their 12 years of existence, that they are very well equipped and they are great to be paired with. And so yeah, that's what I've decided to partner up with, because I just felt like me doing this alone um, was going to take me a lot longer to get into this field, and I wanted to make an impact a little bit sooner than later. So let's see. To this over here. So how is this all resonating with you so far?
Yeah, so far so good. So you're partnering with Nuvita. Do they I mean, they're the program.
Correct, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, and so you can kind of tell just from in the previous slide of kind of reviewing a little bit of the pain points of what your employees are going through, that it makes sense to find the right program that's, super engaging for them, really connects to their core and really motivates and pushes them into more than just motivation, but into actual discipline for fighting for their own health. And so, um, what we offer is different programs, and um, they all kind of start and encapsulate the same idea of just taking whoever wants to go through more of like a fat loss process, or if someone wants to, if your group wants to focus a bit more into muscle building. Um, and so we have those different choices, different options to go into on a quarterly basis. So having them all have their own theme really um, gets them thinking and gets them excited for what they're going into. It's not like a vague program. It's very specific to what they want to achieve. And so so yeah, and then what you were talking about earlier in terms of like the way that the programs that you would offer wouldn't quite hit. They wouldn't quite speak to your employees, in the moment. It was the information itself might have been very helpful, but it was a little bit of what I call the rainbow effect, like where it's just kind of like, ooh, lovely, awesome, but when it's over, it's done, right? But
Mhm.
what I really like about this program is that the way that it works is it isn't just something that has that same rainbow effect. It's not just something that's super exciting now. It's something that like meets you where you're at, meets every single one of your employees where they're at. It's not super intimidating and it doesn't expect you to change your whole life. It kind of just expects you to analyze where you are at right now as a person, build that awareness, and then just make one good choice. It says, it allows you to take intel on what they are already working with. So we know that they're already, doing so much. They're busy. They have a spouse, they have children, they have other responsibilities. And so making this program so that it fits into their life and not something that they have to take time out of to commit to. And then when something in their life, takes priority, then it's something that they easily ditch, right? It's something that they can be like, I do have a lot going on, but I can practice the duality of taking care of what that needs to be while also still taking care of myself. And so we like to reiterate that there's that difference in this program is that it's much more personable and collectively as, a company, the more the merrier, right? If like more people join, then there's a layer of teamwork. There's a layer of, you're working as a team, company-wise for the big vision that you have, but the daily effort that you all make in order to chip away at your own health, because you'll be working on your own individual goals, but it's all, to reach a similar vision and similar idea. And so, um, yeah, so it's supposed to be engaging in that way. Hopefully that kind of gives you a vision or gives you some insight into what that would look like if you have any questions or anything.
Okay.
Let's see. So I want to go into a little bit of back into kind of like what I've done personally in my own business. So I've been working one-on-one for the last year and a half with different clients, mostly online. One-on-one attention and taking them through a journey, so to speak, of where they are at when they start with me versus where they finish off in 6 months and what goals do they reach and how their life just drastically goes through a transformation. So I called this my transformation program. And there's different, what they call unique mechanisms, different points that we hit throughout the whole thing. So what I've done is for their training program, I'll follow the NASTM OPT model training program style so that they can build from the ground up. Basically, they build themselves a really great foundation with their balance and their focus and start adding in more of the muscle building exercises. And then on top of that, once they get to more of like the 5 to 6 month end of the program, um, they're becoming a lot more elite, I guess. They have gone from barely able to balance on one leg to like, all right, we are, solid in our balance. We are lifting weights. We are adding in some cardio. There's a little bit of intensity, and um, and that is just the first pillar. So we also go into um, nutrition, try to be holistic and to look at where they are um, personally, where they're at, and what little steps can we make to better their nutrition choices. And so sometimes they like to go by following macros. Sometimes they really just need to learn more about nutrition in general, and so they can make healthier choices that way. And then so there's different ways to go about it, and but most of the time it's about um, having better, just being aware and having better, making better options. And so then I have journal prompts that I like tailor to them individually, which allows them to reflect on their journey. It's not just about the plan, it's about the overall holistic viewpoint of um, incorporating everything, and just ask them like how does this resonate with you? What did you accomplish this week that you wouldn't have been able to do last week? It's kind of just very, very deep things like that. And um, so yeah, I really wanted to bring this program to the corporate side of things and to um, yeah. And so, being that I'm really local to this area, I thought this would be really great place to start. And yeah, let's see.
And Madeline, just so you know, I have another meeting in about 8 minutes. So just want to let you know that.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. Let's see. So
Hopefully that's enough time for you.
yeah, yeah, that should be good.
Okay.
Mm, let's see. Mm. So I see here that these might, you could probably relate. These are three different, very typical obstacles that employees will run into. I'm sure can run into, I've tried it all, or I'm possibly going to be miserable, and I don't have the time or the patience. This program definitely bypasses all of that, and I hope that what I've previously described, gone through, is kind of given an idea of um, how we kind of bypass all of these here.
And I see myself in a couple of those myself.
Really? Mm. And I've definitely been there too. Um, it's very easy to fall into that I don't have time or the motivation. I feel like that has, been a big one for myself. I don't know which one you're resonating with the most here, but
Probably that I don't have enough time. Definitely. I always feel that way.
right. Yeah, I mean, it's not really just enough to say that like, oh, everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. Like you're wearing a lot of hats as like the big CEO of, the whole thing. And so
Oh yeah.
being the one to have built the whole thing from the ground up is just crazy so so yeah, it makes a lot of sense that that would be the case. And so hopefully nowadays you have, just a little bit more time. And I think that for the employees, like, being that they just work a 9 to 5, then yes, they have, other things outside of that, but that, seeing that you really don't have to um split the time, if that makes sense. It's kind of like um it's just as easy as like if you're going into work and you have to pack a healthier snack, then um, and then, if there's X amount of meetings in a day, then, we're trying to promote having a lot more walking desks or stand-up desks or, just things like that. Um, uh, so, so yeah, hopefully that feels doable or feels like that could be something to implement.
Hmm.
So yeah, there is me over there. Ooh, sorry about that. Got some wind. Um, so with this program, basically you're developing a relationship with myself as I will be running the program and the technology that comes with being a part of the Nuvita program. So obviously building a rapport with myself and the experience that I've had and the enthusiasm that I have for helping your employees there and being able to engage with them so that you're able to just have that taken off your plate and you can focus now back to the bigger picture of your company and um, be rest assured that your employees are taken care of um, because we will do the heavy lifting. We are able to um, let's see, have very in-depth insight into how they're doing on a week-to-week basis. I mean, this is my favorite part of the whole thing, is being able to see how they're doing and to take their data points and to help them, coach them on making the better choices week to week and helping them make their goals achievable. So I would hope that having a program like this kind of takes a weight off of your chest, as I know if you're seeing the troubles that they go through with just related to their health, then having, someone else take that off your plate and be able to really actually take them from ground zero to a better place so that you collectively as a team are all functioning better. Um, and yeah, so hopefully that resonates. Let's see. So here is just a little bit of um, real experiences that we've had, real lives that we've impacted collectively with Nuvita um, and so I can certainly share this with you at the end so you can kind of look into what they have to say for how this has changed them. So it's not just that you hear it from us, but you hear it from actual employees and lives that have been changed from this program. And this shows the real companies that have been very grateful for pairing. They were probably skeptical and nervous and wondered if this was actually going to work for them, but you can see here that through and through, they have come back and they have really appreciated the program that we bring, that, we care so deeply about who we're impacting and who we choose and just how long, we end up staying with them is really what helps us stand out amongst the competition. So, let's see.
Madeline, you said you're going to share this with me because I have like literally 2 minutes. Are you able to? So, will you follow? I don't mean to cut you off, but will you be able to send this to me? And then I think, can you follow up with me in about a week?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Because I'd like to share this with some other people on the team.
great.
And then maybe I'm sure I'll have some questions. So will you be able to send this to me as soon as we're done?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay. All right.
definitely.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. And
Okay.
yeah, that was right on time. Perfect. Yes, most definitely. I can
Okay.
certainly send this to you. We can follow up. And yeah, if you had any last minute
Okay.
questions or anything, or
Yeah, no, I mean, just I just say send me the link and then I'll take a look at it, but be sure to follow up with me in about a week so that we can, I hate that I have to cut you off. I'm so sorry. But I'd love to, kind of revisit this. Okay.
yeah, yeah, that would be great.
Okay.
Thank you for your time and listening to the presentation. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, cool.
All right. So we're going to have you stop that recording
Oh.
because it's about to cut off. We ran out of time. So